Futures Trader Elite here this morning with your NQ pre-market prep on 11/13. Let's go on and pull up this chart for NQ. This is set on the 1 hour. Something I want to take a look at first before we dive too deep into this is you can see we have a head and shoulder pattern right here on the 1 hour. We got a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. We got a neckline right here. We're about to, we're real close to breaking down right there. For instance, let's say the price is at 573 right now. If we drop 30 points, we'd break that neckline. As you can see, I got a green precision entry zone there as well. If that don't hold, I had that box there before I seen this pattern on the 1 hour. That might be obsolete. Be watching for this breakdown on this head and shoulders. There's news this morning. If they bleed this off, this is a perfect example of why they might be taking this to the downside maybe. Say that they don't like the news, and then we get this head and shoulder break, and we come all the way down here to this 1 hour trend line sometime today, which is around 950 to 500, or 950 to 5,000, so 25,000 area. We'll see. It's just something I'm going to keep an eye on. Plus, we still got this gap to fill back here. But even if we were to get that kind of pullback, it'll be, and we bounce off that trend line, we'll be getting another higher low if it happens over here. Even though we broke these down, that'd be a good sign. Even if we drop this trend line, we get a higher low from this here. Although we still have not gotten the higher high from this drop. As you can see, none of these right here took this out right here. So our major rejection area still, if we go to the upside, is going to be from 850 to 875 to the upside right now. Unless that news can pierce through all this, which it could if they like the news. If it pierces through all this, you want to be looking at this R2 pivot up here at 990, 989, 990. Plus that's inside an imbalance zone. So something to be looking at to the top side. Let's drop this down to the 15-minute real quick. So you can see I do have some zones put in here. This one down here, this green precision entry zone is 535 to 545. Then I got a little box up here right before the golden pivots at 647. I got a box from 640 to 645. And then right up here we got 705 to 715, this blue box here. And then this red precision entry zone is right before that R1 pivot up there. That R1 pivot is at 807. This box is 790 to 800 up here. Then we got this red line here that's at 742. And then this green line here at 675. Things to be watching for. Different areas on the chart. The way this whole thing looks, we'll just have to wait till the market opens, and we're not going to predict, we're going to react. Those are zone areas we should react at. Say they decide to take this up. They still have this 1 hour trend line up here they'd have to get through in order to get to this spot, which they got to break this to get bullish for structure. This 850 to 875 back here, they got to take all this out to get bullish. Otherwise, you got to be thinking, well, this zone right here by this R1, if they decide to drive this up from where it's at, that's you get this 1 hour trend line up here, you're over 200 points moved right there, and then it could reject there and be putting in a lower high. So it's another thing to keep in mind. To the downside, I really don't want to think too heavily about what's going to happen if they do break this head and shoulder pattern and the news drags it down. Look at your pivots, your S1, your S2. Yesterday when they tried to pull this back at the open, it was just piercing through everything. So you have to be real cautious with your plays to the downside, protect them with tight stops. Yesterday, I tried to play some in precision entry zones. I scalped out of a 1 or 2 pretty fast for like next to nothing in the green. And then other ones I was getting stopped out of, but I was keeping my stops within 5 or 10 points of my entry. So if I was putting, say I had 3 or 4 entries like right above this S1, not even 5 points below I had my stops. That way if it picked them up and didn't get the first reaction bounce I wanted and it just swept down or kept bleeding off, it just stopped me out. And then I would readjust to my next plan to the downside looking for a bounce and keep a tight stop. And pretty much played it out like that until I found the spot where they wanted to bounce it. Some days you don't have to worry about usually putting stops that tight, but as soon as it opened, and I seen anytime you see them candles starting to pierce through particular areas that you expect would be good support or resistance, and it just pierces through, you need to be careful on the next ones as far as entries and keeping your stops tight. Because I mean, if you're trading out the 1 minute and you see big candles piercing through everything on the chart, that means that excuse me, you might want to hold off and let things settle down just a tad bit. To the downside here, yeah, I'm going to be looking, if we break all this, I'll be looking for initial reaction bounce, first reaction bounce at this S1 pivot at 465. But then we got the green line at 450. It's a 15-point range. So the way it's been acting, I might only put 1 order up here at the S1, followed with a tight stop just under it. That way, if I don't get the initial bounce, it'll stop me out, and then I might put 1 or 2 orders on top of this green line here at 450. So say that I wanted to play this area, my plan would be for it to pick up the S1, maybe come back to the top of the zone box, maybe even this precision entry zone. And then if it picks it up, stops me out, picks me up again, if I had, let's say, 2 down here, I'd probably get rid of one of them at the S1 in case it was just a retest of the pivot before another leg down. Or I would... and then I would let the other one run, see if we get to the top of this box or whatever. Or then, let's say I only had 1 down here on this line, I'd probably take profit at the S1 pivot. Or have your order here, put you a stop just below this. If it picks it up and get an impulse candle, just start following with your stop. As soon as it gets above, if it does get above that pivot, you'll be able to tell in the 1 minute if it's got momentum in it. And looking across your other charts, you'll see the momentum coming in on that candle and know whether or not you're about to get a big impulse candle to the upside there, and just move your stop up below it. Or if you want to take profit, as soon as it picks up, set your sell at the pivot, or set one up here or somewhere up in here inside the zone box. And then the same thing will go on. If it pierces through all that, I'm going to be looking at these levels. We got the yellow line at 395. I'd be playing the same idea and concept. I'm going to put an order there. I'm going to follow with a tight stop just below. Feeling like the initial reaction to that line, which is a previous all-time high, might get me the bounce back to that green line right there. And so on as I go down, if we're moving down. And then if it seems like we want to keep going down and you pierce through something, play the retest of the pivot or something. If it pierces right through it, set you an order up there at the top at the S1 and you know, follow with a stop at like 5 points behind. That way, if it tries to retest, typically a lot of times, I mean, every trade's going to be different, but you're wanting to play it in the manner that first reaction retest is going to pick it up and go straight back down. That's why you leave your stop so tight up here. Not saying that it can't retest and sweep, maybe wick out 5 points and stop you out, but it's better to lose 100 than put a stop up here to give it $200 or $300 worth of breathing room just for it to sweep all the way up there and tag you out at 300 and then drop. So I'd rather keep my losses small because I can always get back in the trade, but it's harder to come back from this stop being up here than it is this stop being right above my entry. Pretty tight. So I think for today, that's all I'm gonna go over on NQ for right now. I'll update live in the updates channel in Discord. If this is your first time with us, smash that like and subscribe so you'll be notified anytime we drop content on YouTube. Give the video a share. Come over to the Discord for free so you can hang out with the community, see what we're doing in the live updates channel. And I will see you guys in a recap. Remember, I'm pretty sure there's CPI news today, I believe, in an hour or so. And stay sharp, stay safe, wait for them precision entry zones to come to you. Don't chase anything. If you missed your initial trade plan, there'll always be a chance to set up another one, but let things cool down after CPI because it could get a little wild, maybe pierce our zones initially, but things should calm down hopefully, and then we'll be able to start putting some plans together, some better ones. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the trade recap. Have a good day today.